Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how we can utilize Adobe InDesign Data Merge to help with a couple different marketing examples. This is not going to cover how to use Data Merge in InDesign. I did that in a previous video, so if this is the first time you're using that function, please check out that video. I'll leave a link in the corner up above so you can check that out first. But basically in front of me I have a folder with a whole bunch of different files. And this one here is for a flyer for a golf tournament. If I go to my database here real quick, this has all of my information that I'm going to be using today. That has a first and last name, the sex of the person, whether male or female, because we're going to do a men's tournament and a women's tournament, what their tee time is, basically based off of what this answer is here, and then this is going to link to a InDesign file that we're going to use to have the prize pool information. So if I go back to my InDesign file here, you can see I've created a little area here. Let me zoom in a little bit here. I have an area here for the person's first and last name, what their tee time is, and that's going to be based on whether they are a man or a woman. And then I've set up this little box area here for the design for the prize pool here. And now if you look on these two files here, these InDesign files contain the information that we're going to be utilizing here on this main InDesign file. And basically it's just a link so that if we update some of the information here, it'll automatically update in our main file here. So if I click preview here, and this first person, John Doe, their tournament's going to start at 8 a.m. And let's say this is the prize pool for the men's tournament here. Maybe at the last minute, something happens and not enough people sign up, so our main prize pool or prize package goes from $8,000 all the way down to $6,000, right? So if you do a normal data merge, you would have to go back to your data source and we would have to change all that information. Now by just setting that information up in a second InDesign file, we can go ahead and we can update from that file just by updating our link. So if I go to my links panel here and I refresh, you can see now it changes from 8,000 to 6,000. And we can go back to our data merge and we can cycle through the rest of the information for our individual people that we're going to be sending this out to. And let's say again here, this is the woman and their prize changes as well. Let's say it goes all the way up to $10,000. So we change that, we save it, and then we make our update to our link in our main file. And now that information has updated as well for all the different data sets basically. So it's a quick way to go ahead and update information without having to go back to your original data source and make a whole bunch of changes there. So that's one example. Now a second example of how we can utilize linked InDesign files is for a postcard here. This is going to be for a travel company, and we're going to offer 4 different types of travel packages to our customers. So if I go back to my Google Chrome sheet here, I have a information set up here in my database for first and last name, address, city, state, zip. That's going to be for our mailing part of our postcard. This contains what type of vacation package they're going to be marketed to. This is for our QR code on our postcard. This is going to link to a specific page on our website that has information regarding those specific types of vacation packages. And then here is a link to a InDesign file that we are going to utilize for the backside of our postcard. So if I go back to my InDesign file here, you can see under my data merge, I have my first and last name, cities, address, city, state, and zip, pretty standard for our mailing part. This is the link to our QR code for our website URL. And then on the back side here, this is where our design is going to change based on what type of travel package we want to market. So I have a city, a cruise, an island, and a winter package that we're going to send these out to different folks. Obviously, these designs are very, very simple. You'd probably want to put a little bit more information on there, but I'm just trying to illustrate the power of using various InDesign files to link in your data merge. So if I click on my preview button here, you can see if I go back to my first record, this is for John Doe here, their package that they have in their database source here is winter, and so on the back side of the postcard he is going to receive a postcard that has some information regarding a winter travel package. And if I go on the front side, this QR code is going to link to that website URL that specifically targets that winter travel package. And if I scroll through here, you can see the information changes in the name, the QR code changes as well, and on the back side the actual design is changing based on whatever that person's preference is for their vacation package. So some people may ask, why would you do that? Because you can just set up 4 different designs and then just send them off one at a time. Well, if you do that individually, you can accomplish basically the same thing, except that it's going to be more expensive, and more expensive because for a couple different reasons. If you have, let's say, smaller quantities for these, maybe only 150 to 200 people that you're sending it out for each different type of travel package, the post office offers various discounts based on the volume. For instance, if you send over 500 different mailers in this case, you can receive a higher discount because it's going to be sent as a first class mail instead of a standard mail. So the rate that you're going to be receiving is going to be cheaper based on the volume. So essentially what we're doing is we're taking 4 different mailers and we're squishing them together to do one mailer. It also means that the setup cost is going to be less because you're going to only process one mailer through your print service provider. If you're doing this with a variable data printer, which most print service providers will be using for something like this, you not only have the variable information for your addressing and for your QR code, but you can have an entirely different backer for each one of the different records in your database. So it allows you to basically kind of harness the power of variable data printing, and not only that, but save you money at the same time. Your postage is going to be cheaper, and your overall print cost is going to be cheaper because it's less setup instead of processing 4 separate mailers for each one of those different designs you want to do. So those are just 2 examples of how you can basically link to other InDesign files in your data merge. Again, the golf tournament was a good example of how you can utilize one InDesign file to make a change and not have to make changes in multiple places in your data source. And then the postcard example for the travel agency is how you can utilize 4 completely different designs all at the same time through one actual data merge instead of 4 different ones. Obviously, when I go here and I just go to export to PDF, it'll go ahead and export all of that information into in this case, it'll be a 20-page PDF because I have 10 different records. So hopefully that helps out some folks. Maybe hopefully save you a little bit of money, save you a little bit of time, maybe spark some ideas to do some different marketing ideas with Adobe InDesign's data merge. Until you kind of understand how data merge works, you kind of like overlook some of those things. So I figured I'd just share that with you guys today. And like I said, hopefully somebody gets some use out of it. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them down in the comment section below. I'm happy to answer those. I'm happy to do a follow-up video if you find something specifically that you want to ask me about and you want to see something down the road. As always, a like, share, and subscribe is going to go a long way to helping the channel. Also, if you want to check out the Patreon page, that goes a long way as well. I'll go ahead and I'll post this to the Patreon, and anybody who is a paid Patreon member will get access to all of the files from this video as well as all the other videos that I do. So if you're interested, please check that out. But just a simple like and watching the video always goes a long way. So again, hopefully this helps somebody out. I'll do more InDesign data merge videos in the future. Thanks for watching, folks. And until the next one, take it easy.